I'm Sara.
I'm Dario.
And each episode will visit a new destination,
Bring you tips, share itineraries,
and tell you our wildest stories.
as we travel while POC.
And today, we're going home, baby.
Let's go.
We are in Jordan.
Let's go.
Before we get there, though, what is your essential for this trip?
My essential this trip,
Yeah.
gotta have my camera out and a specific lens.
Okay, which one?
It's my the Canon RF 50 1.8 prime lens.
Fancy.
I need that. I'm explain to y'all why later when we get there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Probably for me, sleep.
Sleep?
No, you can't pack sleep.
Not this trip.
Sunblock.
Yeah.
Sunblock was essential this trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But let's get to it.
You ready to take off, y'all?
I'm ready to take off.
Y'all, we about to head to Petra. Hey.
Technically, you can't land in Petra.
No, you can't. You can't.
But
we did it somehow.
Well, we landed in Amman.
Yeah, we landed in
Amman, Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
which this is only part one of Jordan because we will do an episode specifically on Amman. But this trip, we landed at the airport in Jordan, which was your first experience.
Man, my first time overseas, y'all.
Was to Jordan.
13-hour trip, flight. I landed in Amman. It was dope because, like, you know, it felt normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really did feel normal until you start seeing things in Arabic. Yeah. And I'm like, yo. And then you can see the outside.
Yeah.
But from the airport, it's not the same. The difference was when we were on the plane about to land, nothing but like brown, reds, pinks.
Yeah.
I was like, where am I?
Yeah.
But I was so excited. That was the first time, y'all, that your boy, being from the streets of Chicago, here in urban America, and man, that was something.
How was the flight for you? Because that was the longest flight.
We got lucky though. We got lucky with the flight because we were able to, the stewardess was dope. He let us move.
Yep.
And Sara asked.
Well, one thing with Arabs is they're very friendly.
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief. Very friendly people. So if you ask nicely, most of the time they will do you a favor.
Yes.
You don't even have to be that nice. People are nice. So he came up and I was like, I know you've assigned us as your favorite couple on the plane. So if there is a row that is empty, because the Royal Jordanian flight is the airline that we took, which is a very large plane.
Very comfortable, y'all.
Very comfortable plane. It is 343 is the seats, right? So we said, if there is a row of 3 that is empty, could you please move us?
Your boy hooked us up.
And he did.
Right by the bathroom.
The middle bathroom. It's not like the shitty bathroom.
Yeah. The middle bathroom. We had the whole row to ourselves. 13 hours. We was able to stretch out. Man, window seats.
Oh. And that Royal Jordanian flight is very large. You have a lot of leg room. The seats are very comfortable. The ceilings are super high, which it doesn't feel very claustrophobic, which is unlike the American Airlines flight that we took on their last episode to Rome.
Yeah.
So the flight was very good. We landed in Amman. It's an overnight flight, so you land during the day. I always recommend that flight.
Yeah.
It leaves out of Chicago O'Hare at about 9:30 p.m.
Yeah,
and you land
late.
The next day, and it's daytime.
It's daytime. So, you hit the ground running.
Right. You sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
You wake up. It's like early afternoon.
Yeah.
And so it is. We're going to kind of like fast forward a little bit through our Amman portion. We'll come back to that, but we're going to talk about our Petra, Wadi and Aqaba portion of the trip, which is jam packed.
Yes.
And the best way, in my opinion, to get to Petra is to take a bus.
Yes.
There is actually, before we get to that, because in order to get to Petra, if you are a foreigner, you need a ticket.
Yeah.
It is 40 Jordanian dinar, which is equivalent to about $55 to get in. But if you buy your Jordan pass, beforehand, $75. It is your visa, and it is access to 70 sites all over Jordan. So any museums, any anytime you go to like a museum or a site or something, it'll say, do you have your Jordan pass?
Yeah.
And if you have that, you just show you the QR code or something, they scan it and you're good to go.
Yep.
So 100% recommend that every single time.
Yes.
It is the visa's $35, the Petra entry is $40. So just those two, you're already saving money if you end up going anywhere else other than Petra by purchasing your one pass, so your Jordan pass. So definitely recommend that.
Yeah. That's clutch. That came in clutch.
Super.
And just being real, y'all, not being from Jordan, they see you.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be some questions.
They're for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be some questions. So make sure if you have that, it's gonna save you a word or hassle. You know what I mean?
Much.
Like just
so
do
much,
it.
yeah.
And that's $75 USD if you're listening to this somewhere else.
There are different tiers of the pass that you can get. I recommend $75 one is the best one.
Yeah.
You don't need anything more, and I wouldn't recommend anything less than
Right.
that. And you can buy it on the Jordan Pass. Like if you just Google Jordan Pass, you can buy it. It'll come up very quickly, but the website for it is jordanpass.jo. J-O.
Let's go. Okay.
And you could just buy it right there. And super helpful.
Yes.
So we took JetBus, which is the most popular company for transport. Think of it as like your Greyhound, basically, right?
Yes.
And it's a similar size bus to a Greyhound bus, except it's air conditioned and doesn't smell like feet. Well, sometimes it does. But there's multiple JetBus stations. You can actually buy your ticket online through the website, or you can buy it through an app that's JetBus, and it gives you the address. You can Uber to the bus stop. And you check in, you can actually buy your bus ticket same day at the station. Very, very convenient. And so we took our bus from Amman super early to Petra because it's a long drive.
It's 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours.
And they only stop like once or twice.
It stopped twice. Yeah. That one time it was critical, y'all.
There's a bus on board. I mean, a bathroom on board. It's tiny.
Yeah, but you need to stretch your legs out. You need some things you don't want to do on the bus full of people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me?
Wow.
Y'all feel your boy?
Yeah.
Shit.
There is a nice rest stop that is like snacks,
antiques and
stuff,
shit like that.
Antiques and like really cool things. It's definitely a tourist trap. So if you don't want to be trapped, don't buy stuff there. But,
don't do that.
But there's honestly anything that you're going to see that is purchasable is a tourist trap.
Yes. We're gonna talk about the tourist trap
because stuff from there before.
Because we on our way to Petra, and that whole thing turned into a tourist trap at one point.
For sure. So you get to Petra and they drop you off at the entrance, and it is like a welcome center.
Yes.
The welcome center has some shops. It has a cafe, a restaurant. You can just sit and hang out and chill. This was September.
Yep.
But it was so hot.
Man, look. It was hot.
Hot. What do you call it? Swamp ass?
Swamp ass.
What's the acronym? Not acronym, shortened name.
What you mean? SWAS. It was SWAS. Man, look.
SWAS Central.
Oh my God. Man, look. Here's the thing. So it's hot as hell.
It is super hot.
It's hot as hell. But when you going through, you know what I mean? Like you kind of get some, you were in the sun. Here's the one thing that is really dope, y'all, that I did not know. I love Petra. I've done so much like my own deep diving into Petra. And I did not know, and this is crazy to me, that Petra is still a full-blown city.
Oh yeah, people still live there.
So y'all, like what you see on TV and on these documentaries, that is Petra, but we're gonna get to that because that's not even remotely close to Petra. But there's a city, like there's a city that looks like any other city,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's super funny? So when I was in high school, I had an English teacher. She was British, half British, half Jordanian. Her mom came to visit Jordan, many years ago, and she met a Bedouin. And if you don't know what a Bedouin is, it's basically the people that are indigenous to that area, from specific tribes. It's very tribe heavy. And she met a Bedouin and she fell in love with him, and she wrote a book called Married to a Bedouin. This British lady came and moved and lived in Petra in like a cave home.
Hey, Petra kind of lit though.
I know, and she had her children, and she raised them there. And her daughter was my English teacher.
That's nuts.
So we went and we visited. We read her mom's book in our class, and we went and we visited their home. They invited us over to their home, and it was absolutely beautiful. I think people, when they think like cave, a home in a cave, they think like prehistoric, but it's actually, first of all, it stays very cool during the summer because it's all stone. So like it's not, there's nothing is getting super hot. It was a beautiful home.
It's pretty dope.
It's really cool.
Speaking of that entrance though, and being cool, y'all, and specifically my POCs out here, it is about a 1 mile walk.
At least.
To the main treasury. Y'all, you gon' walk and you gonna be walking through caves. I mean,
think of it as like you're walking in between two large mountains. But it's not a narrow walkway.
No, it's not narrow.
It's just long.
It's narrow from a distance, but like it's a long walkway, y'all. But it is very cool.
Super beautiful.
Some of the dope pieces of history that you can find. One of the best things about this that y'all need to go see, this is like, it blew my mind when I saw it. They have their old way of getting water to the city from, way back prehistoric and ancient days. Yeah. Got water from outside of Petra into the Petra. Right. And you could see the trail of water and how they manufactured and made a water stream.
I think people can't imagine how old Petra is.
Old as shit.
Like this part of Petra that we're talking about is very, very old. Yes. It is it was actually buried underneath a city that existed, and it was discovered in excavation. Yes. And the Nabateans are the people that built it. Yes. It's huge, and it's all almost entirely built into the stone, which is insane technique. You can actually, once you arrive to that main image that everyone thinks of when they think of Petra, you can even see the grooves in the stone where people would step into, so they can go up as if they're
walking
built
ladder.
In ladder.
They build a ladder
so they can go up and carve into the stone.
Yeah. It is mind-blowing. Man, look, so just to give you...
And it's so much larger than you think it is.
Yeah, perspective on what Sarah's saying about the how old it is. Possibly as early as the 5th century BC. Yeah. What? Yeah. It is that old. Yeah. And so when you walk... Man, look, so I got the money shot that I always wanted. And by the time you walking, y'all, you anticipation is building. When am I going to see this? Let me tell you, it is probably one of the dopest sights that I have ever seen. Yeah. When you walk up on it, that thing is massive.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Go ahead, hit the world with that. I mean, man, huge, and the way it is, because the shadows of the caves is so shadowy, and then all you see is that, and the sun just coming down on it. It is like a light at the end of the tunnel.
It is, and what's cool about it is there's a little coffee shop at the base of it. Yeah. When I say coffee shop, it's not the coffee shop that you would imagine. Right. There's a little stall selling coffee and a little tent that you can sit in.
Some hustlers, boy.
Yeah. And some people selling knickknacks and stuff. And here's the thing. Here's 2 things I will say. Wear a hat. Bring water. And people will tend to wear shorts. Yeah. I recommend loose clothing that's airy. Yeah. Consider still Jordan. It's a country where most people aren't in booty shorts. Yes. You can wear shorts. You can wear shorts. Right. Don't think you have to be extra conservative with how you dress. But if you aren't, people are definitely going to think you're not from there. But it's you don't have to be super conservative. But I personally would recommend, if you don't want to get sunburned, loose. Yeah. Think of how the Bedouins dress. Yeah. Long, loose.
Hey, look.
Light colors so that
they got the eye paint on. Yeah. Mascara. You know what I'm saying?
To protect their eyes from the sand.
Yeah, and the sun.
And the sun. It's so, those are my recommendations for you for what you wear.
Get yourself a get that.
It's the traditional scarf.
Yes.
You can buy it for like $3 anywhere.
Man, look, got that authentic joint, boy. Your boy put that on because that son wasn't about to kick my ass.
Right.
Because it ain't no joke, y'all. I'm not joking.
It's not.
This September.
Yeah.
And it was
hot.
It was beating my ass.
I mean, it was probably like very close to 100 degrees.
I said, give me one of them.
Yeah.
I said, go ahead. Soon as I saw it, they ran me up, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I was good.
And you can put water in it to like keep your head cool, and the water will dry in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but that's a good 10 minutes though.
Yeah.
Man, look. So we walking in, right? We walking into Petra, y'all. Swamp ass. All of a sudden, you go once you get past the part that they show on TV, and mind you, y'all,
that's just the beginning.
That's just the beginning. What they show on TV, what you see, I guarantee, all you've seen on TV is that big treasury. You be like, oh, this is Petra. Man, look, you walk. All you do is you walk to the right and past that.
Yep.
Boy,
you're walking for another 3-4 hours.
You are in at least. And we stopped.
Yeah, we didn't even hit everything.
We were at 4 hours, y'all, and we were like, man, we can't do it. We can't do it no more. We got to go.
Yeah, because you're climbing up to see these like old temples and stuff like that. You're going into the temples. You're going into the caves. It's a very like free roaming. You can hike wherever you want.
Sheep and goats just
mountain goats.
Mountain goats just roam in packs, y'all. Like in packs. Now, mind you. I'm from Chicago. Like I ain't never seen no shit like this in real life.
Yeah.
Like goats and shit.
Yeah.
Like the dog was like herding the sheep that was like the one got lost.
Yep.
The dog was like, get your dumb ass.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Those dogs aren't stray dogs. Like you're going to see a ton of dogs. They're not strays. They belong to the
Bedouins.
To the Bedouins and to the what's the herder of the sheep?
The shepherd.
Jesus. Yeah. They belong to shepherds. They live in that area. They are fed by. They're taking care of that area by that area. So like, I often see people criticize the amount of like stray dogs. They're not strays.
No, they working. They working harder than you.
Don't let your savior complex kick in. That's all right. They got it.
What I was gonna say is like y'all, a lot of hiking. Wear some good shoes. A lot of hiking. Yeah. I went off on like this little tangent, y'all. And when I tell you
uphill and in between stones and rocks and shit.
You are climbing rocks, y'all. You are climbing rocks. One fall, it's a wrap.
And there's no one to like walk you through it.
Yes.
They do have signs that like, hey, don't go up
there. Yeah, it's a little dangerous right here.
Yeah, but it's up to you.
Going up and down. It was one time when I was like,
I went up, to sue or nothing.
Yeah, I went up and I was like, man, getting down gonna be a bitch. Hey, it was this one time I got this dope shot from like one of the highest points in Petra. One of the that you can stand on, I should say. Man, look. So I'm walking up this. I'm going through it like the houses, the houses that people with the stone carvings. I done ducked underneath one. I'm all of a sudden I was on my door, the Explorer. Like I was going crazy.
You definitely were.
I was like up in it, and then I kept on going up because I was like, well, I want to see what's here.
At this point, I abandoned him because I'm terrified of heights. I was like, I am not going.
I got to the top, y'all, because what they do is they have the Jordanian flags in places where you can stand and that is technically safe and take pictures and you can get there, right? Yeah. So if you see a flag, there's a way to get there. So once I caught on to that, I was like, well, I'm close to one of these flags that's up there. Man, y'all, when I got up there, there was a lady up there with a Bedouin who had her rug there. She was selling something. She knew that people going, I'm going to try to sell you something.
Right.
But it was me and her. And when I tell you, I looked around and I got to the edge, bro, one gust of wind would have took your boy out. I would have been buried in Petra.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous though. I was like, holy, like, man. Yeah. And on top of that, there's another treasury, y'all.
Right.
That's not the one they show on TV ain't it. It's another one.
Yeah. And
God, gorgeous, y'all.
And there's like little pieces of information as to what the things you're looking at are to tell you a little bit more of information about it. But they're still discovering things. Like they still don't know what all of these things were.
Right.
And a lot of the excavation that happens in Jordan is done by other countries because it is a lot of money and it's a lot of money for the country to invest in it. So a lot of French companies and of course British, our OG colonizers, will come and excavate and lead projects and stuff. There's actually some from the University of Chicago that have come and done some cool projects.
Very dope.
It's a really cool. Once we hit the point where we were like, I think we are done.
Yeah.
There's restaurants. Right?
Yes.
And that's like where most people will stop.
Yeah.
You could still keep going. There's so much to see.
Wait a minute. Before we y'all, story time, y'all. So me and Sarah walking, and this one little girl, she comes up to us, right? She could clearly see, obviously everybody there is a tourist, basically. Yeah. But she like see us and like, she was like, "Are y'all together?" And she started, she was like, "Are y'all together?" And we were like, "Yeah, we." She's like, "Ooh," she kept doing this, and I'm like, "All right, little girl." Like
she was literally like 8,
like a little girl. I'm like, "All right, little girl." She was funny though.
Yeah.
So we get to the one point where it was the old like Roman. Was it the Roman like cathedral that is torn down, right? Yeah. So which is dope. You got to see this. Like it's a whole. I mean, it is high up. It don't look that big when you're right there, but then as you walk up. That's usually how it go, huh?
That's what she said.
You keep on going up, and this little girl following me, right?
She did.
She followed me, and she talking. She was like, "Come on, don't you want to?" She was trying to get me to buy something, but then I like stumbled, and I said, "Oh shit!" And so then she said it. She said, "Shit." I was like, "Don't say that." I'm trying to talk to her like I'm like. Come on, little girl. No cussing now. You too small to be doing that.
Yeah.
And then I forgot because like I didn't want to cuss in front of the girl, but she's like, "What's wrong with that?" And she had gum in her mouth. Shit. And she was smiling. I was like, "Stop saying it." And she was like, "What? Shit. And she kept saying it. I was like, so I'm at the top, and this little girl was like, "Shit." And like everything. And then she was like showing me around. She was like, "Hey, come here. Let me show you this." And then at one point she starts showing me shit. I'm like, "Oh fuck, what? Yeah, like this is dope."
I mean, it's their home. They know so much about it.
Yeah, and she was really cool. But then when we got to the part where it's time to eat, they left us. We parted, but
we just got a few quick sandwiches and some drinks.
Your boy brought a camel.
Well, we ate before that because we were starving at that point, and then you can walk all the way back to the entrance.
Hell no!
But we said we're not doing that,
y'all. If you walk back to Petra, you got at least another hour walk.
At least
another hour walk from where we was.
At least
if you make it to the end, quote unquote, of Petra, you're the restaurant part. Your ass gonna be. You got at least another hour half, almost 2 hour walk.
Yeah,
back.
At least
your boy hopped on the camel.
Dario got on a camel. I've only ridden a camel a couple times in my life, and I was like, never again. It's too high. First of all, camels don't get up like front to back or whatever. No, they tilt forward, and then they tilt back. So you have 2 opportunities to fall off,
bruh.
And I just did not want to experience that.
Man, I had a backpack tied to this camel. I felt bad for the camel. And then, so I'm on the camel.
They're not worried.
I'm on my camel. I'm on the camel. Let me tell you, y'all, you got to have wide hips for that. My shit was hurting. And then here's the trick, though. Here's the trick. If you ever own the camel, you got to sit with both legs to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could ride the camel on the side.
But I wouldn't do that.
That's
just, I
mean, the camel is
stretch. Do some stretch.
The camel is
pelvic exercises before you go.
The camel is stable though. After a while, I was like, okay. Then we got on a horse because you can only ride the camel back to a certain point.
I rode. My mom and I both rode horses to the treasury area, and then that's as far as the camels can go because they're each. These are like valid vendors they have licenses. So if you're riding an animal, it is someone that has a license to be able to take you on an animal. Not anyone can bring their camel in and allow you to ride it. So then after that, it was horse.
But before then, right before that transition, so I've been getting hustled. I saw this one dagger, on the way in. And I was like, oh, this dagger look cool. And so the cool thing about the dagger, it was like authentic. So now I'm on this journey, y'all. Y'all gonna see this as we go through this. I collect like these little souvenir weapons that are real weapons. Very real weapons. In wherever we go, right?
Yeah.
And so this one happened to be this Jordanian dagger. It was sexy looking. Yeah. I got it. I'll show you a picture.
Made from camel bone.
Made from camel bone. The straight steel, like it is like this.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, y'all. So they wanted way too much money for this.
It was like $100 for
way more than that. It was more than
like,
that.
What?
I was like, nah, son, you tripping, man. Like
I was like, he is foreign.
Yeah.
But you can't. Like, I'm from here.
So I'm like, all right, bet. Now, when we made the transition from camel to horse, the dude starts screaming out the name. Hey, sir. And I'm like, who is that screaming at me? Now, there's people around. I look back at Buddy. It's this little dude, this little hustler dude. These kids out here hustlers, y'all.
Yeah.
They hustling. He was like, come on, man, come on. And so I'm like, what's the deal? I was like, I don't want to do it. He gave me the craziest deal in the world. I was able to pick up the dagger.
It was
we rode
very
off,
nice
literally rode off on a horse. Now,
on a horse. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I do not like heights. Even a horse is too high for me. Okay.
Boy.
When I tell you, I told this man, I was like, do not leave me with this horse. Yeah. I don't like horses. I don't like being on a horse. I'm only here because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay? When I tell you, this man left me and this horse started galloping across the fucking valley.
Y'all.
If
Sarah
you had stepped left, we would have fallen into a valley.
Sarah was screaming.
You could hear me. You could hear me from anywhere.
So while Sarah doing that, I'm
I was laughing. By the way, laughing
yeah,
hysterically. So was my mother.
Because here's the thing.
So was my mother.
The horse was trained. The train. I mean,
it was shit trained.
No, he was because they say
the guy left.
He said you pull one way. It's gonna go that way. No. It was good to me.
We almost hit a booth.
Here's the thing that went south for me because I'm talking all this shit laughing at Sarah. Here's what happened. Your boy accidentally did the little giddy up. When I tell you that horse
took off. And it's gonna keep going.
It looked like Red Dead Redemption. I was up here.
And there's rocks and shit. Man. If you're not maneuvering around the rocks.
Yeah. And so now I'm zooming. It's like the fucking Kentucky Derby up in this bitch.
People and shit.
My horse just going. It's Secretariat up in this bitch. I'm like, what is going on? I lost my day. We got to the end.
It was horrible.
I lost my phone. My phone fell out my pocket.
It did.
Dude had to go back and get my phone. Then when he came back, he tried to stick me for my paper. It was like, man, where's my money for helping you find this? I was like, bro, just goodness of your heart. Is that what it is?
He said, for what?
Man, look, I was like, oh, come on, man.
No, yeah.
But Petra, y'all, Petra is a whole vibe. Yeah. One of the best experiences I ever had in life, man. Especially never seeing no shit like that.
Yeah.
And then we went to what we got to this?
Well, then we took the same jet bus to Wadi Rum. So originally when we booked our bus, we booked Amman, Petra, Wadi Rum, Wadi Rum, Aqaba. So, and then Aqaba back to Jordan. So we went to Wadi Rum. We spent all day in Petra. We took that afternoon around 5 p.m. We left and headed over to Wadi Rum. Once you arrive there, you have to arrange with wherever you're booking your stay for them to come get you from the main entrance because at some point there's no more road. It is sand, and you need a 4x4.
Yep.
Because it will not. A bus is not going to go through that.
Nope.
So we stayed at one of those really cool Martian looking.
But the ride going up, y'all.
To the camp.
Yeah. So you in the little
mind blowing.
Yes. You in this
It's a pickup truck, and you're sitting in the back of the pickup truck. They have these
Yeah, I was gonna say you leaving town. You leaving they little quote unquote town, and you in this pickup truck. When you, like Sarah said, you get in that pickup truck, you in desert. Yes. Now here's the thing, y'all. This was my very first time in a desert.
Yeah.
Very first time, and I'm in one of the largest, most historic in the world. We in the back of a pickup truck. This bad boy going XYZ speed. I don't know. And I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah.
Wind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Sun is setting.
Sun is setting. You looking at I'm looking at mountains around me. Nothing but open land.
And it's red.
And so before we get to our spot, he takes us on a little excursion.
Yeah. So part of what we booked, you can also book these excursions with them throughout the desert. So we wanted the sunset and the sunrise. So we did the sunset one, which he took us to a couple of different spots. The first one he took us to was the site where
Lawrence of
Arabia was staying. There's etches in stone that he had etched in there and stuff like that, and where they watered their cattle and all that stuff.
And it's just cattle and sheep and shit, just goats, just right there with a stream of water coming from the mountains. It is dope. But then some of the most historic shit that you've ever seen. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of petroglyphs, y'all. Mm-hmm. But petroglyphs, and to break that down, is basically like a hieroglyph, but
that word.
Hieroglyph. It's like a hieroglyph. Uh-huh. except it's carved into, like, literally carved in, I guess they the same wing. That's what Petra means, carving into stone. And so these are as early as 20,000 years BC.
Yep.
Y'all, this how, or now we're going in this like little cave thing, right? We're in this cave and we're walking through, like, not a cave, in between the rocks, right?
Yeah.
And you see this old, what looks like cavemen or people, the Nabateans lived here.
Yeah.
And you can see they had two carvings. I mean, a shit ton of carvings.
It's before the Nabateans.
Before the Nabateans. Yeah. It's that, y'all, it is the most mind-blowing shit.
Think of like hunter-gatherer shit.
Yes.
Okay? They have etched into stone figurines of two people.
Yeah. And a goat.
And they're like animal of some sort.
Yeah.
And it was used as a way to tell the people that are coming after them,
somebody live here.
Someone came through here. Yeah. This is a safe space for you to like travel. It's a safe route or something like that.
Yes.
Because the desert is so large and vast that you needed these markings to kind of like keep track of where people were going.
Now your boy was on his door to explore again. So then once I start seeing that, I'm geeking out now because I'm like, you could touch them, y'all.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there like, bro, I am touching prehistoric carvings.
Yeah.
In the middle of whatever. So I start climbing up rocks and going in. Sarah, her mom was like, nah, we good.
I'm not doing
good.
that.
I start going in between. And I was screaming back, hey, it's all the way back here. Man, I got pictures, y'all. We gonna post them. By the time you listen to this, it is absolutely amazing. And then we continue.
Yeah.
Then we continue.
So after that, they took us to a spot where you can watch the sunset as part of our thing, and you can watch the sun setting. It's like the most beautiful view of the sunset in the desert, right?
Coin on that one.
And it was insane. We almost missed it, actually, because Dario was climbing through the petroglyphs. But we made it. We made it to the sunset. We got some really cool shots.
Yes.
It's just like, it's so quiet. And there were a ton of people there watching the sunset, but no one was saying anything. Yeah,
look, the sun setting is just quiet. You could hear a mouse fart.
You just hear like birds and stuff. It's that. Yeah, there were birds.
I know, but it was, y'all. So we also recorded our 77 Flavors of Chicago podcast out there. So go check out that episode. I forgot what episode that is, but we were there.
Yeah, I'll link it in our stories.
We had to pause just a moment of silence. Like listen to this. You can still hear some shit.
Yeah.
Out there, if you pause, it's like the world end.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
It's kind of like mind blowing.
The bubble tents was so dope.
I know. So that's what were you
I was gonna say the dinner though.
Well, before we get there, let's talk about the camp that we went to, because there's multiple of these Martian camps. The one we went to was Wadi Night Luxury Camp. That's the name of the camp. And you could just find it on booking.com or wherever you want to book. And it is these Martian tents that you can watch the night sky through them. You can rent a regular tent that is with beds and stuff if you don't care to watch the night sky, because you can't really close them.
No.
You
don't want to.
You don't want to.
You don't want to, man.
But if you don't care to see it, then you can stay in a regular tent that closes all the way.
Yeah.
Everything was air conditioned. There's a bathroom in there. It's definitely glamping.
It's glamping. It's
not camping.
No, it's
anyway.
Not. It's not.
There's a porch area thing. Some of these camps have like hot tubs and stuff. We didn't care for that because we were going to Aqaba afterwards. Yeah. We were there just to watch the stars at night and stuff like that. And then the dinner is part of the experience. So once you arrive, you go, you change, you shower, whatever, and then dinner is almost ready. And tell us about your experience with the dinner.
Man, so you go to dinner, right? This is the first time I ever seen. So they have basically a barbecue, but the food is in the ground.
Yeah.
And they pull the food like layers, racks of food.
Yeah.
Just cooking in the ground.
Right.
A whole, what was it? A whole lamb. A whole goat. You know what I mean? They just pulled it out of the ground.
Yep.
And when I tell you everybody huddled around, you know what I'm saying? You can see it. It's like a whole vibe, y'all. Like people are just vibing. You feel good. You out in the middle.
They're playing music.
Music is playing. And then once they take it out, they walk it into the, the dining hall.
Yeah.
Dining room. And then so you eat in there and
They cut it up
and
like
everything.
that. Like,
it's just so. And the chef was dope.
Yeah.
Like the chefs was good. Like you just sitting there, you eat, and then you go back to your room.
Yeah,
your dome.
Well, before that even. So the dining room. It's a buffet style. So like they have fish, they'll have chicken, but the main thing is this goat, and it's very similar to barbacoa. If you've ever had barbacoa, where it's cooked underground. The origins of cooking underground comes from the deserts in the Middle East, because it would be the best way to do it, and it's absolutely delicious.
It was
definitely
delicious.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Man, look, I think I had like 2 or 3 plates.
Yeah.
All I know is they had I got my Mirinda.
Yeah.
You know, I went and found that.
An orange soda.
Orange pop. But you know, it was good. I was in the complete vibe.
Yeah. And after dinner, you go to the main area where people are sitting. It's outside. There's like benches. You can get a hookah if you want one. Just listening to music and chilling. And then
you know what's crazy about the music part? That you do listen to music, but I think everybody there was like, nah, turn that shit off. Yeah. We just want to be. You are so one with the earth, and this sounds crazy for me to say, but like you are like.
It's like a meditative experience.
I didn't want no noise, and also ain't no cell phone service.
Right,
so that was beautiful because like you know like I didn't need my phone. Your phone was good for pictures only.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, there's no service.
There's no service. So I was like. Man, it felt good at one point. We almost fell asleep out there. I was like, man, look, outside because
we were tired.
And
it gets very cool at night. So it's very hot in the morning, but the desert is notoriously cold at night.
Yeah.
So you know you'll need like some form of warm clothing when you get there. But so we went to bed early because we wanted to get up at 3 a.m. to watch the stars.
Watch the stars, y'all.
And one thing we didn't know is that the moon doesn't set until like 30 minutes before the sunrise.
Yes.
Which is crazy because it is so bright.
Yes.
Like
the sun is the moon is bright as heck.
Like I'm gonna post some pictures with the moon and then some pictures after the moon sets, and you're not gonna believe that is just the moonlight.
Because if you are in a city, most people are, you know, around you got light pollution, and the moon is out. You don't realize the moon is that bright unless one day the moon is exceptionally bright, and you like, oh, okay, cool, it's a bright. Yeah. But like with city lights and stuff like that, you don't notice that when it's just you, desert. Moonlight.
It's crazy.
That moon is as bright as the sun. Yeah. So we slept in the tent, and
it was so bright.
It was almost uncomfortable bright because the moon was just shining above you. It was dope to look at because you can't really see nothing else. Now here's the thing, y'all. Your boy thought it was gonna be sweet to just walk outside, you know. Before we went to bed, I was like, "Oh, I'm about to go out there," because it was open field. I just wanted to play and just roam. Y'all took one step past where the lights were, and when I tell you, I'm black. I waved my hand in front of my face. I couldn't see shit.
Yeah.
It was over. I was like, I turned my ass back around. I was like, nope, I can't even see my hand.
I know. And, you know, there's wild animals.
It's wild shit out there. So I turned. I was like, no, man, I was stupid. What was I going to do?
Yeah.
What was I doing out there?
Mm-hmm. Well, we did go outside to get the pictures, though.
We did, but it was still stuff around us. It was like, it was dark because they turned out the lights specifically for you. Now, this is where my one thing I wanted was my 50 mil 1.8 f-stop lens, y'all. We got pictures, man. I can't. The pictures ain't gonna do no justice. But y'all, if you have,
real life was insane.
Real life. If you've never seen stars in real life,
try to go to the nearest area. You know, you can actually Google
Dark Sky Net.
Yeah.
You could Google that, y'all. Man, I'm telling you, I was just in amazement looking because you can look up and see all the stuff. Yeah. But then when you take it with the camera, you like, bro,
there's way more. Than
we are in. Where the fuck are we in this world? You
can see the Milky Way.
This universe is massive.
So many shooting stars.
And then you can see some of them. Like I was like
satellites. Like it's just wild.
When I tell you, I was damn near 40.
Yeah.
Brought me down to like a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I've never seen Chicago, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that ever. I don't get out and explore. I told y'all this in the first episode. Like it's my first time seeing shit, y'all. It was so fucking powerful. I got some dope pics. We post them.
Yeah.
You got to look at these pictures, man. Like, go to our Instagram. Insane.
Yeah.
I tried to edit the best I could, but that's man.
It's crazy.
Look, nuts.
Yeah. And then so we just stayed up, and breakfast starts at 6.
Yeah.
So we just went to breakfast. Again, it's a buffet style. A lot of like Arabic things like Lebanese and stuff, but you have your cereals. They made pancakes and stuff like that. So you'll get that. The only thing is like there's never pork, so don't ever expect there to be bacon anywhere you eat. But before breakfast.
Yeah, before.
We went to the sunrise.
We went to the sunrise.
Right. So we were done. The guy came and picked us up. We organized it with the same camp.
Yep.
And there's just a pickup truck that waits for you. You sit in the back of the pickup truck and they take you. It's very cold. Wear a jacket.
Y'all.
Very chilly.
Just something
There's
like.
no humidity, so it is very cold.
It's cold.
And they take you to the spot where you can watch the sunrise. They make you black tea, and you just sit on the hilltop and you watch the sunrise.
You just watch the sun. And so here's
it's so quiet.
When I tell you peaceful and quiet,
it is the most peaceful.
It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Period. It was just like this openness that you have around you.
It makes you feel almost like so small that every problem you have is irrelevant. How can anything matter when the universe is this large?
We didn't have our phone for almost 24 hours.
Yeah. And it didn't matter.
It didn't even matter because you had other things to occupy your time.
Yeah.
I mean, the tea experience.
We didn't have anything to watch. There was no TV. There was no music. Like nothing.
It literally
us.
made me think about life. Yeah. Like I was like, and as a person of color, a lot of us don't have these experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so like I'm literally living this out in real time. Like, God damn, like what? Like this shit is amazing.
So I'm an Arab going to an Arabic experience, but how did you feel? Because you're a foreigner, obviously, but like did you ever feel uncomfortable or like weird or
no? I'm gonna break this down in a couple parts. When it comes to the people, just like I know a lot of people probably like, what is it? How did you feel, black guy? I didn't feel no type of way, y'all. Like we said at the top, Jordanians, beautiful people. You know what I'm saying? The Middle East, beautiful people, man. I don't care. I lived it, so I don't care what nobody else's opinion is. I lived it. You know what I'm saying? And like I never once. Only thing is they check your bag and they want to make sure you following the rules.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mind you Jordan is in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure drones are illegal. Do not bring your drone.
So they just checking bags. They check out, and once you get past that, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But then the other part of it is because I am, not everybody got this experience, but I didn't get a lot of exposure to the outside elements. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't no camping dude. I haven't traveled a lot of the states. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't do traveling. Like I said, I literally got on the plane first time at the age of 25, 26, 27, I think. So for me to be in a desert, first time seeing a desert, first time in the Middle East, first time like not having my phone for 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like as an adult.
Yeah.
Best experience that I've ever had. It made me want more. Because remember, after that, I was like, I need more of this. Like, it sucked that we had to like leave because I started getting comfortable. I started getting real comfortable with, me. I told you this. I like not knowing shit. Yeah. I like being an outsider. You went
from like your screen time is like 17 hours.
Yeah. Okay. That's unnecessary information.
You went from that to zero.
Your boy got businesses I'll be running.
I know.
But man, look, that experience, man, like that is the one that changed me. That changed a lot because like I was like, okay, and I'm tapped in now.
And like what the mind-blowing thing was like how they navigate the desert. Yeah. I mean,
how?
This like I bet you this kid that was driving this car was like 16.
15. I think he was like 15, 16.
Super young. And mind you, that's not weird or different.
No.
He probably doesn't have a driver's license. He's probably been driving this truck since he was 10.
Drive better than me.
For real.
Drive better than me.
They navigate the desert insanely.
Speeding.
You can see camels. You can ride camels. There's so many experiences you can have. You can go sand duning, like the surfing, sand dune surfing. Yep. There's a lot of things you can do in the desert. We just didn't have time to do all of those, so we went to Aqaba next.
And don't think that you're going to be able to do this shit yourself. You're going to get out to that desert. You're going to be lost.
You can organize all of those things through whatever camp you decide to stay with.
Yeah. Don't get lost out there.
They all have... You can't leave by yourself. You can't even...
That's
you're
true.
not going to be able to walk anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's nothing to go to.
Yeah.
So, don't be stupid.
You're going to run into something.
After that, we then went to Aqaba, which again you can take a bus that takes you to Aqaba, and we stayed in this. Aqaba is a couple things. One, there is a main city. People live in it. It is the southernmost tip of Jordan. It is on the Red Sea, and it's you can. There's a whole city where regular people live.
Yeah.
But then there are these resort towns that are built. So it's not just a resort hotel, it's multiple hotels. People buy vacation homes, there's towns, vacation rentals, all of those things, and they're made into these like exclusive little resort towns. And we stayed in one of them, which was what was the name of the hotel we stayed in was called Cloud9. And it's in one of those towns. So there's Talabé, which is the one that I used to go to when I was in high school. Apparently, it's no longer hip. It's basically like an apartment. It's not so much a hotel. So you like rent the apartment and you stay there for a few nights. There's many options. I personally prefer to stay in the main town itself. There's just so much more to do. There's a lot of restaurants. But if you want a luxury experience, I would say stay in one of those resort towns.
Look, there's some history in Aqaba because it's like a port town, port city, very, very old and ancient. It's in a prime location like Chicago. Chicago is in a good spot with the waterways and the rivers and things like that. Same thing with Aqaba.
Sorry, I said Cloud9. It's Cloud7.
Okay, you just a couple digits off. So here's a really cool thing, and I almost don't want to spoil this, but what I will say, because all this is going, there's odd parody in life here, and so here's this bit of odd parody. So, you remember the milestones that I was going to tell you that I told you about at Rome? Well, the Roman Empire, when they were kind of doing their thing. Oh, Siri just said, "What's up? What is going on?" Siri, stop it. Right by my computer, y'all. Damn, not my phone wanna. So I told y'all about that, right? Yeah. You could do the research on it. The Romans, when they had their little run, it was in this area, right? But this Aqaba is the start of what's called the Via Trania Nova, and what that is, it translates to King's Highway.
Oh, wow.
And this was a road that went all the way up to Amman.
Wow.
And it started right here. But here is the really cool part. Remember that milestone I was telling you about?
Yeah.
The first one is in Aqaba.
Wow.
Give me my coin.
That's crazy.
The first milestone from the Romans is right there. Well, just at the start of the King's Highway.
That's the cool thing with visiting Jordan. A lot of people might skip it if you're in that region, but the Romans were there, the Greeks were there, you have the Nabateans, you have like the Christians lived there, the Muslims lived there. Like there's so much history in that one tiny little country that like you really should not be skipping it.
Yes. Y'all, it is.
You shouldn't skip all of these stops.
You shouldn't. You should. Matter of fact,
there's like Irish castles.
I was about to say
so much.
So there's this castle that we went to after we went to the McDonald's. It's 1 second here.
Yeah.
Let me get on this McDonald's.
Okay. Even though you should be boycotting McDonald's.
You should be. You should. Whatever. They have a McChicken Big Mac.
Correct.
That was probably one of the best sandwiches I've ever had at a fast food joint. Y'all, if you're
boycott
there,
McDonald's.
Yeah, man.
But there's a lot of really good food. The seafood in that area is amazing. The Red Sea has like the Red Sea has one of the most diverse coral reefs, has one of the most diverse like bodies of water. So there's a lot of different kinds of fish that you can eat. Cloud7 is actually in the compound is called Isla, and there's a lot of restaurants in that compound. It's all walkable, so you don't even need a car once you're in there. Whatever hotel you stay in probably has golf carts that you can take around. There's a beach club that you can like take a little golf cart to. It's that kind of place. It's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. But I would say staying in the main city might also be spend a day there at least. It might be worth it just to see the history and the museums and stuff like that.
Get out on the boat. Get out on that boat tour. So they got this. We did this boat tour, that had the bottom of it was glass, and you are going over the Red Sea.
Yeah,
just vibing. Excuse me, vibing. In this whole, it is like what about 30 minutes, 40 minutes of a ride. So we just vibing out, and this was after we left. There's this huge flag of Jordan right there, which is really cool.
It's not the flag of Jordan; it's the flag of the revolution.
The flag of the revolution. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually the same colors as the flag of Jordan.
Yes, because the flag of the revolution got a it don't have
it doesn't have the star.
It doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So but so there's this dope castle that you can walk through, super ancient.
It's
fire.
free.
It's also free.
Yeah.
But then you get on the boat right there, like right off this pier, and you just going through, man. Like, and when I tell you, this is a full ass experience. I got video. We got video of that.
Yeah.
We can post that.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say when you dock back, it's so dope because you go out there.
Yeah.
You go out to the edge and you come back, right? And basically you could see Egypt from right where you are. You know what I mean? Like
it's a 45-minute boat ride to Egypt.
It's that close.
It's like a 20-minute boat ride to Palestine.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy.
But you can't enter Palestine.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is
when you dock,
you don't dock at a dock. Your ass crashed right into the rocks, and you got to climb off to the rocks, which was an experience.
It's a speedboat.
Yes.
It's not like a ship. You know what I mean? It's just a little fact about the Red Sea. So the underwater ecosystem is home to over 300 species of coral and 1,000 species of fish, 10% of which are found nowhere else in the world.
God damn! What?
Yeah. So it's a very cool. You can go snorkeling, you can go scuba diving, you can rent jet skis, you can rent boats. It's all very inexpensive in comparison to anything you can do here. And it is definitely an awesome experience. I think Aqaba is worth it for just the chill luxury vibes.
Super chill luxury, because that's all we did. But one more fun fact about the water.
Yeah.
Y'all, elevation 6 meters, also 20 feet.
Wow.
Amazing. You are on the ground. As the lowest you can go on the earth. You know what I mean? Like, not the lowest, but
the Dead Sea is the lowest.
But like in that part, you pretty low, right? The air it was perfect. It was the sun was beating down on your ass though.
It's hot.
It's hot down there. Aqaba.
Careful if you're drinking.
Yeah, for real. It's gonna hit you up.
Yeah.
But like the resort thing was just man, Aqaba was a vibe. Honestly, we had to go back. I was like, well, at least we going back to mine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like, well, at least we going somewhere cool still. Because if we was going back, I think if we had the trip ended right there, I'd have been like, nah, man, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Yeah. After that day, you go Petra, Wadi Aqaba. Nah, man, that's a 3-piece.
And mind you, this was only like 48. About 3 days.
About 3 days, yeah. It was 3 days. Yeah. So, man, look, y'all, best experience.
It was so amazing.
So
we talk about this at least once a week.
At least.
We can't wait to
recreate it. The pictures are just, y'all, you're going to see the pictures, man. But, like, this is a place definitely would recommend to go. Yeah. Make it a trip.
Super safe.
Elongate it. Yeah. Elongate the trip. I would probably say maybe try to stretch it out 5 days, 4 or 5 days. 3 days is dope. You know what I mean? But like, I could have had another day in Aqaba at least.
I agree.
You could have had another day.
We just had other things to do.
Yeah. We was moving. Yeah, we was moving.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I think 4 days is probably really good.
If you are looking for a dope experience, man, that's honestly life changing, because you're gonna see some history. You're gonna see people in like the purest form, in my opinion. Bedouins are just so dope. We saw them living there.
Super generous people.
They were living. The little girl, I'll never forget. Shit. It's so funny, but man, I had a blast.
Yeah, that's our little trip there.
Hey.
Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some good nuggets from it, and we can't wait to share next week's trip with you guys.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a dope one. So please make sure you come back, subscribe, share this content with anyone you love, and please follow us on all social media.
Please do
at Traveling POC.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll see you next week.
We're gonna see you next week in a new country.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's get it.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider rating and leaving a review.
And if you could, please follow us on all social medias at Traveling Wild POC.
And if you'd like to suggest a destination, we can't promise that we'll go, but you can email us at media@77, that's the number 77, flavors, shy, CHI for Chicago.com.
And we can tell you one thing, we will be going next week. So get ready for takeoff. Another dope episode. We'll see you then. Peace.